Welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero, Act 4. This one's going to be a little different. Now, I'll tell you why once we get into it. Last time I saw animatronics and a mammoth was in Siberia. Manual 5.4, Context, Backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Well, this is not helpful. No, this is not at all helpful. Table of contents. 0. Introduction. 1. Installation. 2. Orientations. 4. Order of operations. 3. The passage of time. 5. Gestures. 6. Final notes. Maybe I ought to read it back to front. My savior! Our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? Time to put that mammoth out to pasture, Will. Oh, I feel certain she's got a few trips left in her. If only she had a more capable surgeon. Sadly, mechanics are in short supply down here. I think the setting is too romantic. It scares them off. What brings you down to the Echo tonight? I always end up here eventually. River's like that. It always has been. Picked you up at the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. Well, that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. The Bureau has great acoustics. Well, you got that right. Wow, I could sit in there for hours. Just listen to my breath reverberate through that weird architecture. Still, it's always good to be back on the river. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less. Alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years. But I can't say for sure. Water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people. Some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. Wonder which kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth. My gosh, more singing. Oh! Wet gears. Wet gears? Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand. Then I lowered them back in again. I took care of the grinding sound, but her trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend, you know how it is. Don't you? What's your story, Will? Story? Well, I like to listen to them. I like to tell them. But I don't have one of my own. I also don't have a permanent address or a pickup truck or any change of clothes. Wash my laundry in the river. In that moment, I'm truly free. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal grip and toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud to Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department. I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls, or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. Left my shoes there, the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. And up by the shore. Soon I was drifting along the Echo. Ran for a while above ground, then. Doesn't anymore. But I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along and I record what I see and hear. Try to help with maintenance. Drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. Listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Oh, if you talk to Kate, could you ask her, when she stops for gas, she'd pick me up a scratch ticket? Thanks. How's that cold river spray treating you? Thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. Still irritates mine a little. I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. Let's mix up some turkey tail fungus, peppermint, and caterpillar fungus. Just add toad, and that'd be a love potion. I'm teasing. Or am I? Isn't that from Macbeth? How far are we from Dogwood Drive? The echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo mail stop. But we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business. Mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute. All dotted on the riverbanks from here to there. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What's wrong with the VCR? I can take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. So you're talking to Will. He's an old friend. Don't be fooled out by that burnt-out aura. He's a smart and kind man. I think his only vice is those silly scratch tickets. Speaking of which, we're coming up on our next stop shortly, refueling and picking up a few things. Well, eyes on the road. Aha. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, Shannon searches her pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. Ah. Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Serrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara came came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. Haha, it's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, then Atlanta, then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it. And Johnny was moved. Speaking of Serrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate says she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Sounds. Ezra wears a suit? Conway, where did you get your glowing arm? I got an idea. You know what's the strangest thing? I can't remember why I came up here. Neither can I. Damn noisy river. It's just that thing about... What was it? When you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember. Like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. We were driving for hours. Get any sleep? I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams. When you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah. Better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. Should I be worried? I'm fine. He's talking about Ezra. It's good for him. It's important to know how to... How to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go work at hard times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think you do have a choice. I gotta repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you gotta settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. So, this boat is just gonna go. And we're gonna have some options down the road. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. Problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Actually, that's a great frickin' segue. So, every single stop has a choice of of a location you can go, and you can't do both on one playthrough. So we're gonna do Act 4 twice. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there. That's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I picked up a second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listen and see. Now I know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. Was there when the old train station flooded? I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him. I suspect sampled his wares. One night when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. Knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians who I'm often encountered on the river. They were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station, so the mammoth could refuel. See? So, for this first go around, we're going to get off every single time. Then for the second one, we're going to stay on every single time. That good?